quality. And so also if there's like an internet issue or like sometimes that happens on Zoom and it gets kind of degraded in the quality, this will actually record on your side. And then right when it's over, it'll finish uploading. And then we'll have super high quality video and audio on both of our ends.
Okay, wonderful.
Yep.
You taught me something new. I've never heard of this particular platform. I use Zoom all the
Yeah.
time, but didn't know about this one. So thanks.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I learned it from someone else. And then also, are you good sharing your screen too, like to show the site and everything? All right.
Yes, I'm fine with that. Okay, I see where it says share down there.
Yeah.
So yes, I can do that. Actually, I can go ahead and bring it up real quick. Save a little bit of time.
Yeah, sure.
Make your temple. If I can type too. There we go. Okay.
All right. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll give us a quick intro and then we'll just kind of get into it. So,
Sounds good.
all right. Hey, everybody, it's Ben from WishList Member, and today we get the pleasure of talking to Kimberly Taylor. She is from the Take Back Your Temple business and membership site. She's going to explain all about what that is, but she's agreed to give us a peek behind the scenes of her membership site and share some insights and things that she's learned along the way. So we're super excited for this. Kimberly, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much, Ben. It's my pleasure.
Awesome. So can you just tell us a little bit about your business, how you got started, and how you got where you are today?
Sure. Actually, my story starts back in 1996, and I will try to keep this as brief as I possibly can. Actually, I said 1996 is 2006, really. And at that time, I was a registered nurse and I had issues with my weight. But what I really discovered was it was issues with emotional eating that led to the weight gain. And so I ended up losing 85 pounds and dropping from a size 22 to a size 8. And I decided to start a blog about my experience. So initially, it was about health and eating and exercise like a typical weight loss blog would be.
Yeah.
But then I felt led to start sharing information about my faith. And so I did. And interestingly enough, people started commenting on my blog when I started, sharing that little bit of uniqueness. And so I decided to start writing books and audio. And eventually I decided to develop a website, a membership, because there were people who wanted more personalized help. And I thought it would be helpful to have a community around this issue because it can be difficult to find people who understand about this particular issue. So that's really how I got started with Take Back Your Temple. So we have the membership site, online courses, and inspirational resources.
Oh, that's really cool. And we talk to a lot of different people, and so some people start just because they want to start a business. It almost sounds like you didn't start with that business in your mind,
No.
and it just kind of turned into that because a lot of people needed it. So that's really cool. So when did you actually start the membership site? Do you remember which year?
Now I'm trying to think for myself
Yeah.
because initially, like I said, I was writing about my own weight loss
Right.
experience. So the membership site came about 3 years after that. So I will say around 2009,
Right.
or so like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure. So
2009
it's been like
with the
10
membership
plus
site.
years since you've been having the membership site.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. Yes, it's been quite a while. We actually started out on Facebook
Yeah.
and having a private support group. And after some privacy concerns, we decided to move it to our own website and create our own membership
Yeah, and
there.
I was just going to kind of ask you about that. So was it always Wishlist member, or did you use another solution at first and kind of move to Wishlist?
Yes, actually, it started out being Member
Yeah.
Press. That we started out with, and then we started doing some comparisons with other type of membership sites. So we really liked what we saw with Wishlist and decided to switch from MemberPress and really have been happy with Wishlist and what it does and the additional functionality that it provides.
I'm glad to hear that. And I know you said you moved from Facebook. That was probably a while back, but can you just touch on that just a little bit? Because some people may actually have a Facebook group right now and they're watching this. And so just
Yeah.
any thoughts that you have about that?
Yes, the reason it wasn't initially it wasn't something that we wanted to do, but one of our members started saying, she told us that she was having problems with Facebook,
Yeah.
wanting her to provide some information about her, and she did not want to share that as part of joining our group.
Right.
And so she told us about that, and we just thought that was giving Facebook too much power over our business. So we thought that it was the best decision to move the group from Facebook. It was kind of scary at
Yeah.
first because we had great engagement with our Facebook group, and we had been on Facebook for about 10 years actually with our group. And so it was scary to decide to do that, but we decided for that sake, like I said, privacy concerns and things like that, to move it to our own personal site. And we did that about 2 years ago. And it was challenging to do it, but it was a great decision. I think it was the best decision for us to have it all under our control and
Yes.
being able to do that. So yes, it was a great decision, I think, for our business to do it.
Yeah, and I agree completely. I just wanted you to share that because sometimes it's one thing to hear it from me, someone who's, involved with the membership software business, but to hear it from an actual
Yeah.
site owner is a whole nother thing. So thank you for that. So before we kind of get into it and you can share your screen and kind of walk us through your site, um, is there anything that you can think of, like what was one of maybe the more challenging things that came when you were building your site? And that can be, I'll leave it open-ended, so answer it however you want.
You can. And actually, to tell you the truth, the technical aspects, my husband handled that for the most part because he's got like over 30 years of experience in the computer industry, and he was a network administrator before he retired. So he took care of all of those things. And so it was his hair that was lost from pulling it out versus
Yeah.
me. I went to bed and he'd be up, trying to handle the technical aspects of it. But I will say that for the most part, we planned it out well. We also got someone who was used to migrating membership sites as well. So we
Okay.
got a consultant to work with
Yeah.
us to do that as well. And like I mentioned, there really, for me on my side, there really wasn't a whole lot
Yeah.
of challenge. But from him, that's a better question for him, actually. But for the most part, I will say that it went
Yeah.
smoothly, minus a couple of sleepless nights on his part.
Sure, sure. And you're talking about the migration, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Cool. So, and was there a particular reason you were migrating? Like, was there like a particular pain point or something that you were experiencing with MemberPress, or was it just a variety of things?
Well, it actually was a variety of things for me. The WishList member had a cleaner interface and it was more intuitive in terms of how you use it. To me, MemberPress was a bit clunky from that. And then one of the other things that I liked was we decided to change our lead magnet, and we wanted when people logged in to be able to go to a different page versus the page that they would go to being a full-fledged
Right.
member. So we wanted to have different logins where people could log in with the same information, but then depending on what their membership level was, they'd be shown this page versus another page. And I don't recall at that time that MemberPress had that. They may, I
Yeah.
don't know, but I just know that WishList did. So that was one of the main reasons we decided to
Right.
switch.
Just a little bit more customizability in those things. So, I was just curious. So,
Yes.
okay, really cool. So, if you want to, you can share your screen and kind of walk us through your site, and maybe you can. The first thing to show us is kind of just your sales page and your funnel, and kind of how people get into your site, if that makes sense.
Okay, it does. Let me go ahead and share my screen and bring that
Sure.
up. Let's see.
And we'll edit all this out, so it's all good.
Oh, good. Let's see. How do I get to Let me go back to that. Again, I just see there it is. Wait a minute. I thought I saw it. Maybe I can do Alt Tab to bring that up. Okay. I'll keep going off of this. Share system audio. Huh. I guess I have to click
Yeah,
it.
I don't. Let's see. So you don't have to share your audio. Just okay. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can go to this screen.
Hmm.
Do you see it
Yeah, I
yet?
can see it. Yeah. So one thing I want to
Okay,
say is actually,
okay,
if you can stop sharing real quick, because you actually,
okay. Let me go
yeah,
back.
just yeah,
Stop
press stop
sharing.
sharing. When you go to share, uncheck that box that says share audio, because I could actually hear myself coming back
Okay.
through. That's why it was a little bit. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, we don't want that. So let me try
Yeah,
that
but I
again.
could see it perfect.
And I don't check that. So can you see my screen now? It says lay aside every weight.
No, I actually can't see it.
Uh
Hmm,
oh. Okay, let me try it again. Okay,
technical
Kimberly.
difficulties.
Let me click that. Oh, there it is. Okay, hang on. User error.
All right. Yes, it's perfect. I
How about
can't hear
that?
myself, so we're all good.
Oh,
All
good.
right.
Okay. All right. So you were asking me about whether or how my sales page and everything. This is actually my home
Okay.
page, but you see right here in the upper right hand corner when people join, this is one way they can access the member site, or they can just go to the member URL straight away. But our sales page is this page right here, and let me go to it. Now, our sales funnel is actually an ebook that we sell, and we advertise it through Facebook ads primarily. One of my goals is to at, expand our advertising and go to YouTube video. That's my
Yeah.
next step. But right now, we're primarily using Facebook ads to advertise an ebook that people can purchase for a small amount, and they get added to our email list, and then they go through our email sequence, which all leads to this particular page. So it really talks about what our uniqueness is, and primarily our market is Christian women. And what we're talking about are the barriers that they might face on their weight loss journey. As I mentioned, I lost 85 pounds. So I know that it's about a lot more than eating and exercise. A lot of times it's emotional issues that lead people to overeating. And so one of the things that we talk about in our program is to help them to identify the issues that's standing in the way of them reaching their ideal weight, like emotional eating and sugar addiction. So that's really the approach that we make through Take Back Your Temple, and what makes us different from a typical weight loss program. So like I mentioned, this is our sales page. So once they join the program, and you see here all the benefits that we have for the program, then once they join the program, I'm going to go back to our login site and see, this is our membership
Okay.
program page here. So did I cover the things that you wanted me to cover concerning
Yeah,
our
I think
sales
so. I think
funnel?
that you shared a lot of interesting things there for people listening. So one of them that she mentioned was that she actually has what a lot of people would call a tripwire offer, which is that ebook that you're uh, offering. And so that's getting people involved and just engaging with your business. And so you can do that on your own membership site for everyone listening. And then she's, brings them to that sales page. And she mentioned something that I think a lot of people overlook, and that's that it's not just about the surface issue of losing weight, like you said. A lot of it was about kind of digging deeper into the other issues that they're having. And so, whatever, for everyone listening, your membership site is probably offering something deeper than just the surface training and content that you're providing. It's offering something deeper. And if you can tap into that, then that really makes the sales page a lot more effective. And so, um,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I just wanted to cover, we kind of glossed over it, but that was what's actually included in the program. And if it makes sense and you want to actually, log us in or show us the back end, and that would be the easier way to
Sure.
explain it, or you can show us the sales page, whichever you prefer.
Okay. Actually, let me go ahead and log in as a member so that you can see what we're about, and I think I can explain that
Okay,
better. So I'll just kind of give you a tour of the site, and I'm going to go ahead and log in as a member, happy member.
awesome.
Okay. So in our member site, the first screen that our members actually see is our community, because to me, that's the heart of our program. And so this is where they interact with one another. And as you see, it looks pretty much like any other social media site. And one of the things that we do here in the community, of course, everyone shares experiences, but then we also have group challenges every month. Well, almost every month, I'll say that, because what I've discovered is engagement is everything. In terms of community, and get people involved and getting to know one another so that they know that whatever challenge that they're facing, they're not alone, that they've got other people who are in the trenches with them, so to speak. So this is our community. And we have, in addition to, as I mentioned, our group challenges, is we also have a group, different groups where people can share experiences like recipe sharing, prayer and praise request reports. And then we have our SWAT team, which is Sweating Weight Away Together. And it's our exercise accountability group as well, where people can share their workouts and things that they're doing right now. So that's our community. And then the other thing that we offer, in addition to the community and the resources, are courses, online courses that we have. And let me click that, see if it comes up. Okay. And these are the different online courses that we have in the program. And our flagship course is actually called Healthy Weight Loss God's Way. That's the one that we recommend everyone start with. And then we have Overcoming Stress Eating, Sugar Detox, and many other courses that are related to challenges that I faced on my own weight loss journey. And I thought I'd create specific courses to deal with those issues that can stand in the way and serve as barriers to them reaching their ideal weight. So these are our courses. And then finally, what we also have is inspiration, because we know that, at least with Take Back Your Temple, we're not about quick fixes with our weight loss program. And there's actually one thing I did want to share on our sales page, just to give you some clarification on how we screen people before they come into the program, because we really want people to come into the program and be sure it's a good match for them, because sometimes people might choose a program and think it's going to be a quick fix, like 30 pounds in 30 days. And we're not about that. We're about permanent weight loss. So we want to be sure that people have proper expectations when they join our program. So just to let you know what's here, this is inspiration. So if they need any type of spark or boost or something to say, hey, you can do this, then we have different inspiration. Like, for example, here's one, member stories, where every once in a while, when we have people who experience successes or wins, then we interview them and we put them in this section so people can see other people's stories and see, hey, and think to themselves, if they can do it, so can I. So this is our inspiration
I love
section.
That. We're kind of doing that right now with the member story.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yes, exactly. But we do the same thing. We do the same thing because it really does help. They say, hey, I know I'm at the beginning of my story, but with persistence, then I'll get to where they are. I just need faith and I need patience to get there. So I think that's a wonderful resource for them, for our members. Now, as I mentioned, this is one thing we do have that's on our sales page that may be different from a lot of people. But one of the things that we have on our sales page, if I can get down there, once we cover the resources, see, we have member stories here, our testimonials, and then something about me. And then this section, I think, is one of our critical pieces of our sales page, because one of the things that we want to do is, before they join, we want them to confirm for themselves if Take Back Your Temple is right for them and our approach. So we ask them 5 questions and they can click yes or no, and it gives them feedback. Like, for example, here's one. Question number 2 says, do you believe you can change with God's help, one step at a time? And if they click yes, then it gives them feedback. Or if it if they say no and click no, then we tell them why they may not be a good fit for our program. because that's one of the things that's very important for us, is that again they have proper expectations before they join. Because I don't know about you, and personally, when I had my weight issues, I had been on so many different
Yeah.
diets. And it was so frustrating and discouraging because I would lose weight and gain it back. And so the question that was always in the back of my mind when I joined a new program was, is this right for me? Is this going to work for me? And so, because I know that, that's one of the things that my husband and I talked about, to say, okay, what would be the ideal member that we would have coming into the program, so that we tell them right up front, this is the expectation, this is what is needed to succeed in our program, so that they'll know, and don't waste their money or time if it's not a
Yeah,
good
I and
fit.
that's I absolutely believe that that's the right way to do it. You don't want to be selling stuff to people that's not actually going to work for them or benefit them. Just to ask a question, and maybe you don't have a detailed answer on it, but obviously adding kind of a barrier or like those questions like that, it weeds a lot of people out. Have you like what would you say the impact has been on? And I know it's not all about the money, but certainly on sales and new people coming in. Like, has it? I mean, after you added that, did it kind of lower that? Did it actually boost it because it was calling out even more to the right people? Or any comments about that?
Yeah, I think it actually helped. Now, one thing that we had done to start with is we had the questions on a separate page. And one of the things that we did this year was we combined the questions on the same page as the features and benefits. And that definitely helped. Yes, I think that initially it may have decreased our conversions because we did have that
Right.
as a separate process where they got the features and benefits. And then we had a button that said become a Take Back Your Temple member, and it would kick them to another page with the questions on there to kind of slow things down a bit. And so when we combine them, we did notice an increase in conversions. But one of the things I will say that this does for us is it decreases
Right.
refund requests. Because again, if someone's coming in there and they're thinking that this is going to be a quick fix and it's not, we get into deeper issues, then they're not going to be happy. And so that's why we said to ourselves, we want to be sure that people know right up front what is expected, or what is the right characteristics that they need to have to be
Hmm.
sure that they succeed
Yeah, that makes a lot
in
of
our
sense.
program.
And one thing that we didn't really go over, but how is your program priced? And I don't need the exact price, but is it just is it a one-time payment? Is it a yearly thing? Is it, monthly?
Yes. We actually
Okay.
give them different options. So we have a one-time payment for lifetime membership, actually. And then we have another program that breaks that
Uh,
payment up into 4 payments. And then finally, we have the third
okay.
choice, which is just a month. If they just want to test it out, dip their toe in, see if the program's right for them because they're not sure, then we offer once a month, not once a month, I'm sorry, a one
Right.
time payment just monthly, and it automatically
Okay.
expires after 1 month. So they
Right.
don't have to follow up and say, hey, can you cancel me or anything like that? It's just 1 month only. But really, what ends up happening most of the time is when someone joins with that 1 month membership, they say, hey, I know this is right for me. Can I just go ahead and pay the other payments and just become a lifetime member? So that's something that ends up happening a lot, where people will say, you know what, I know this is good. I'm engaged in the community. I know this is for me. And they just go ahead and pay the rest of it to join as
Yeah,
a lifetime
that's
member.
great. It sounds like it's really kind of no pressure as well, and you're letting people kind of test it out. Yeah. So you mentioned
Absolutely.
that in terms of getting
Absolutely.
new people into the site, you're doing a lot with Facebook ads. Is there any other channels that you're kind of taking advantage of that, may be worth sharing?
Pretty much it's pretty much Facebook right
Okay.
now, and we get a lot of
Referral.
referrals from members who are happy with that and they'll tell their friends. So we do that. But as I mentioned, I would like to branch out into YouTube ads to see how that works. Like us, we've been doing Facebook ads for maybe the past 2 years, and they've been working really well for us. So that's pretty much where we are right now. The other thing is, of course, I mentioned we have an email list. So when people purchase the book, then they join the email list as well. And we have that nurture sequence that we take them through. But that's pretty much it right now. Or an SEO.
Right.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. We do a lot of work with our website to be sure that we're targeting the proper keywords so that we get some organic traffic from Google. So we do a lot of work
Yeah,
with
it makes a lot of
SEO as
sense.
well.
And content marketing and that sort of stuff. Sounds like you're getting into YouTube and everything. So, and that's, we've tried, we were uploading videos for WishList on YouTube quite a bit, and we kind of dropped off. It's a lot of work to do it, but if you can do it, it does pay off for sure. So, mm,
Right, right. And we do
yeah,
have a YouTube channel as well. Don't update it as much as I would like, but we
yep,
do
you
have
and
a
me both.
YouTube
So,
channel too.
okay, cool. So just a couple more, maybe more tech side questions, and if you don't know, that's okay. You can just say that. But do you know what
Okay.
theme this website's running on?
Yes. We
Thrive.
actually use Thrive
Yeah.
themes. They're sweet. And so this theme that we use is called Shapeshift. And actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I just thought about it. Yeah, we use Shapeshift, and then Buddy
The
Boss is
community.
what we use
Yeah,
for
I thought
our
it looked familiar, and that was
community.
going to be my next question was on that
Yes.
community, how that was built. So, Buddy Boss, I love that. Awesome. And then for the
Yes, Buddy
courses
Boss.
too, is that
Hmm.
is that through? Because I know Thrive has one, we have one course option. What are you using for that?
We use for the
Thrive
courses, we
Apprentice.
use Thrive Apprentice for
Perfect.
that.
And I know that
Hmm.
integrates with WishList.
Yeah.
If you're selling them one off, but to my understanding, when somebody gets access, they just get access to kind of everything, right? Oh no. Okay.
No, actually, you can. They have one of the features that they've updated with is you can
Oh,
create
okay.
like look course bundles, and you do that now. The way I have it set up right now, it is set up so that when a person becomes a member, they get
Right.
access
And yeah,
to
we're
everything.
actually right in the middle of we were just on the phone last week with Thrive and we're kind of deepening our integration with their stuff. So hopefully you can benefit from that and anyone else who's using Thrive and other people. But yeah, we love Thrive. So that kind of answered a lot of the tech stuff. I guess
Yeah.
one more question was you kind of mentioned that you have that the nurture sequence in your email list. What provider do you use for that? Since we there's so many options that you can choose from nowadays.
Yes. I have
Okay.
been with AWeber for years. I mean, practically since I started the website, I started out with AWeber when I started my email list. And initially, what I was doing was I gave away free material initially. And then we decided to change our business model a couple of years ago to just sell the ebook. And that went without a hitch. In fact, we experienced more success with when we started selling the ebook versus giving it away for free. In
Yeah.
terms of the quality of leads, we noticed an increase in the quality of leads when we started selling the
Right.
ebook
But
for,
some investment.
smaller price. But yeah, but what we decided was, or at least what we discovered is,
Mhm.
with selling the ebook as at a reasonable price, small price, but we got, like I said, more quality leads of people who were interested in change
Right.
versus getting free
Makes a lot of
stuff.
sense.
So that really was a
Yeah,
game
that's
changer for
that's something
us.
that's a gold nugget right there because a lot of people do they give away a lot of free stuff and I think you should give away free stuff but then also start charging a little bit of just a little bit like she said I did you mention the price or I think I saw $17 somewhere maybe or I don't know maybe I'm just
You
right
talking about for the
yeah
lead magnet? Yeah, for the
seven
ebook it was
right
seven,
so
it's seven
not a big
dollars.
investment at all but just a little something so people
Mm-hmm.
will actually go through it and it probably like you said increases the engagement and everything so wonderful. Well,
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then of course we do have
oh,
free articles out there because I update our blog regularly. And then we also have a podcast that is available. See, that's our blog. We have our podcast. People can access. We have free online prayer classes like we use through Thrive and stuff. So people who aren't able to join the program, they're still able to get access to some content for
Wow.
free. Lots of content actually for free if they like. So it's not necessary for them
Right.
to purchase anything. However, we do have that
Perfect.
sequence
Well,
for
yeah,
the
that answered a
program.
lot of the tech questions. Is there anything else on the actual site that you want to maybe show us that we maybe missed? I know there's probably a whole lot of stuff, but anything that you want to, show the audience?
I think for the most part, the things that I wanted to show,
Okay.
I did. Because I'm just really excited about our
Yeah.
community. Like I mentioned, I was really fearful from moving from Facebook because our community was so engaged, but being able to replicate a robust engaged community here on our own site was just a wonderful thing that we were able to do, and I'm just grateful to God for that things went well for that, and most of our members did make that transition from the Facebook
Yeah,
group to
that's
our own
wonderful. And
site.
that's,
So
I mean, for everyone listening too, with Facebook, another problem with that we've at least noticed and heard from other people is that a lot of times the posts in the group don't actually end up in the news feed. So, Facebook's algorithms, they kind of control what people see on that platform because it's their platform. So you're kind of just renting space over there in a way. But, so yeah, I know it's a scary thing, but I'm
mhm.
glad that you made the leap to use it through Buddy Boss and bring it into your own site. Um, yeah.
Yes, and I was just going to say too, one of our members, they mentioned that they were grateful that we did that because they
Mm,
talked about so much
yeah.
negativity on Facebook these days. So here it's a safe space where they can just concentrate, be fed spiritually, and interact with other
Yeah.
people who are
Really
like-minded.
good point.
So makes a
All right.
difference.
If you want to, you can stop sharing. I'll just ask a couple other final questions and we can wrap it up. I don't think you could see me, so I figured you could. I
Okay.
don't think we need the screen anymore. All right. Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Here I
thanks,
am.
Kimberly, for showing us that. Just a couple final questions. I guess what were in All right, let me re-say that question because I messed that up. All right, thanks, Kimberly, for showing us that. Just kind of as we wrap up here, what is maybe one of the bigger lessons you've learned when you were building and kind of launching this site? It doesn't have to be necessarily wishlist related, but just in running a membership site and a business like this, what's maybe a big lesson you've learned?
Well, for me, it was that I think I mentioned it earlier, but engagement is everything. Because initially, when we built the site, we had a discussion about whether the first page that they see are the courses or the community, or what is the first page. And
Mm,
initially, it was like a static page that was supposed to be like their dashboard where they could access everything. But it didn't really drive engagement much at all because it stayed pretty much the same. And then it was the same thing with the courses. We tried that next, where the courses page was the first page that they saw. And because it didn't change from one, they really didn't have much of a
mm,
reason to come in and see what's happening here. So we decided to make the community the first page they saw because people were constantly posting and saying, giving out testimonies or advice or prayer requests or things like that. And because there was some changes in there, and people would say, hey, what do you think about this? And people would just comment and give things. So that was the engagement aspect of it. And so the mistake was starting the first page that they saw being a static page. I wanted something
yeah,
that was more dynamic. So that was one thing that was important for us to show them, hey, there's things going on here. And you want to check it just about every day to see, just in case you miss something. It's a lot of dynamic because
right.
this journey's not, stop, start, stop. It's dynamic. Our weight loss journey is dynamic. Things happen in our lives and we want to respond to them in a healthy, godly way. So that was really the main thing that I did. Made a mistake with
Sure,
starting with
that makes a
something
lot of sense
static
too, and
instead of
um,
dynamic.
for sure, a lot of people can probably go make some changes even to their sales pages or their home pages and things to show some of that stuff. I've even seen where on the actual sales page, I know you were talking about the dashboard, but on the sales page where they even kind of have stuff, and I think sometimes it's a little bit faked, but they try to make it grab real comments and stuff, but maybe from inside the community, and they're like, so and so just posted this, or so and so just commented. So it's almost like you can show that engagement happening even on the
Mm.
sales page. And so just something I've seen, wanted to share. But you
Mm-hmm.
kind of answered my next question, which was, if you could have done something differently, what would it be? So we can skip over that one unless you have another answer. But okay, cool.
No,
So
that was pretty
um,
much it. Yeah.
I guess, do you have any kind of final advice for anyone else who wants to start their own membership site?
Yes. I think my advice for any business is to just be willing to start where you are. Don't feel like you have to figure out everything before you start something, because I think it's better to just do like a little prototype or something and then get it out there and get feedback from people, and then you can build from there. But many times people get stuck because they think it has to be perfect. I think there's a saying
There it is.
called done is better than perfect. And I totally agree with that, because if you're willing to start where you are and just put something out there and see how people respond, and then you can always build on that. And that was really a hard lesson that I thought, because I'm pretty much a perfectionist, and so I had to learn, no, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your best and put your best, just put your best out there and see what people say about it, and then you can always make
Yeah,
adjustments.
I
So that's
actually
the
just
advice
sent out
that
an
I
email
would
this
give.
morning to our list that said that done is better than perfect. So that's it's it completely.
Yeah. I might have read it from that, actually,
Hey, that's
Ben.
all
I did
right.
see that. I might
I
have actually
influence
read
your
it from
answer.
there.
No,
Yep.
but it
Yep.
is it
But
is
it's
true.
true.
So if someone's interested in what you're doing, they want
Yeah.
to maybe learn more. How can they, um, learn more about you, access your website? Feel free to kind of share any resources that maybe you want people to follow up on if they're want to know more about what you're doing.
Sure. If anyone wants to know more about Take Back Your Temple, our Christian weight loss program, or any of the other resources, if you're struggling with emotional eating or sugar addiction and you want to approach that from a faith-based perspective, Christian-based perspective, then just be sure to check out our website at takebackyyourtemple.com. And we also have a book that's available called Overcoming Emotional Eating God's Way. And we mentioned that briefly, but you can also see more information about
Awesome.
that
Well, thank you,
on our
Kimberly, for taking the time out of
homepage.
your day to share all these insights and your site with us. I think it helps a lot of people, just like how you have your community and your program. We're trying to build up our wish list community a little bit and just all help each other out a little bit. So I really appreciate you sharing all this with us, and hope you have a great rest of your
Yes.
day.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you so much, Ben. It was a pleasure. God bless you,
you. All
sir.
right, let me stop the